Welcome, everyone. Let's begin not with a rule, but with a feeling. Recall a moment you found yourself surrounded by the fluid, melodic stream of native English, perhaps in a cafe, overhearing an animated discussion, or while watching a film where the dialogue felt not like separate words, but a single, expressive thought. There's a certain magic in that sound, a sense of being on the outside of a world rich with connection and understanding. That longing you feel to cross that threshold, to not just decipher, but to truly comprehend and participate, is the most important compass you have. It points directly to the most fundamental, yet most often overlooked key to language mastery, the art of deep, intentional listening. This isn't merely a supplementary skill. It is the very bedrock upon which fluency is built, the hidden engine that transforms English from an academic subject into a living, breathing part of your consciousness. Imagine listening as the master key that unlocks not just vocabulary, but the soul of the language itself, its rhythm, its emotion, its cultural heartbeat. This is why we say that listening is not just a strategy, it is your secret superpower. To truly appreciate why this is so, we must look back at the most successful language learning model in existence: childhood acquisition. A baby does not arrive with textbooks. Its first and most profound teacher is its ear. For months, it is bathed in a constant stream of sound, the soothing cadence of a parent's voice, the varied tones of conversation, the rhythmic patterns of everyday life. During this silent period, the brain is performing an incredible feat of neurological engineering. It is mapping the sonic territory of the language, learning to distinguish its unique phonemes, recognizing the rising and falling contours that signify a question or a statement, long before a single word is understood. This immersive audio-only foundation is what allows a child to eventually speak with an intuitive grasp of grammar and a native-like accent. They are not translating, they are replicating a familiar melody. By embracing listening as your primary tool, you are granting yourself this same naturalistic advantage. You are allowing English to seep into your subconscious, to be absorbed holistically, rather than constructed laboriously, word by word from a mental phrasebook. So what exactly is this real-world teacher imparting? It is offering a curriculum that no textbook can replicate. Formal education often presents English as a static set of rules and idealized sentences. But real spoken English is a dynamic, often messy, and wonderfully expressive creature. It is filled with ellipses where words are dropped but meaning is retained. You coming? It thrives on phrasal verbs that change meaning entirely based on the particle. Look up, look into, look after. It plays with idioms whose meaning is figurative, not literal. It's raining cats and dogs. This is the authentic music of the language, and the only way to internalize its melody is through repeated, attentive listening. You learn that "how are you" might be a polite formality, but "how's it going" or "what's up" invites a more casual, genuine response. You hear how native speakers compress sounds like gonna for going to or wanna for want to, making the language flow rather than stumble. This is the difference between knowing the definition of words and understanding how they dance together in real time. Now, let's address the inevitable and crucial challenge: the fog of incomprehension. There will be times, especially at the beginning, when you feel submerged in a sea of sound, grasping only isolated islands of recognizable words. This is not a sign of failure. It is an essential part of the training process. In fact, this struggle is where the most profound neural connections are formed. When you cannot understand every word, your brain is forced to become a detective, seeking clues from context, intonation, and the speaker's emotion. This is where you learn the invaluable skill of gist understanding. The strategy is critical. You must consciously resist the counterproductive habit of mental translation. Instead of trying to convert each word into your native language, focus on the bigger picture. What is the emotional tone? Excited? Concerned? What is the general topic? A problem at work? A fun weekend plan? Trust your brain's innate pattern recognition abilities. For instance, if you hear a conversation snippet like, "I was so frustrated with the traffic this morning. I sat there just honking my horn." Even if frustrated or honking are unfamiliar, the words traffic and morning provide a strong contextual framework. Your brain can infer the emotion and the situation, and the new words are learned with a vivid, memorable association attached to them. A highly effective technique here is layered listening. On the first pass through a podcast or video segment, simply aim to answer the question, "What is this basically about?" On the second listen, you can focus on picking out specific new phrases or vocabulary. On the third, you might shadow the speaker, repeating phrases aloud to capture their rhythm and pronunciation. This methodical approach transforms a single piece of content into a rich, multi-layered learning experience. The cumulative effect of this practice is nothing short of transformative, elevating every facet of your language ability. Your vocabulary expands not as a sterile list, but as a living network of contextually understood terms. Hearing the word ecstatic in a story about a surprise party teaches you its intensity and usage far more deeply than a dictionary definition could. Grammar is acquired intuitively. You may not be able to explain the past perfect tense rule, but after hearing "I had already eaten when she arrived" in various contexts, your brain internalizes its function for describing an action completed before another past action. This is knowledge felt in your bones, not memorized by rote. Perhaps the most immediate payoff is in pronunciation and accent reduction. English spelling is famously deceptive. Seeing through, tough, and though on a page gives no indication of their wildly different pronunciations. Listening solves this mystery. It trains your ear to hear the subtle difference between the vowel sounds in ship and sheep, or the soft th in this versus the hard th in thing. This auditory awareness directly improves your ability to produce these sounds accurately, moving you closer to clear, confident speech. And with this self-assurance is the catalyst that propels you from a passive listener to an active participant, giving you the courage to finally bridge the gap between understanding and speaking. Integrating this powerful tool into your life requires a shift in mindset from studying to immersing. The goal is to create an English language environment around you. This can be seamlessly achieved by attaching listening to your existing daily routines. Your commute becomes a classroom with podcasts. Cooking dinner becomes a lesson with an English language cooking show. Your evening walk is accompanied by an audiobook or your favorite English music playlist. The principle is to choose content that genuinely captivates you. If you love technology, listen to tech reviewers. If you enjoy true crime, there are countless narrative podcasts. When you are engaged by the topic, the language learning happens almost effortlessly. As your ear becomes more attuned, actively seek out diversity in accents. While it might be comfortable to stick with one, the real world presents a symphony of English accents, from the crisp received pronunciation of British news anchors to the relaxed drawl of an Australian storyteller, or the fast-paced clip of an American sitcom. Exposing yourself to this variety is like cross-training for your ears. It builds resilience and adaptability, ensuring you won't be thrown off when you encounter a new accent in a real-life conversation. Ultimately, the journey of listening transcends linguistic mechanics. It is a passport to cultural literacy and genuine human connection. It allows you to perceive the dry wit underlying British humor, the directness and optimism in American communication, and the laid-back camaraderie in Australian slang. You stop just understanding words and start understanding people. You can sense sarcasm in a tone, empathy in a pause, and excitement in a raised pitch. This deep listening makes you not just a better English speaker, but a better communicator overall, as you learn the universal skill of truly hearing what someone is saying. So I encourage you to see every moment spent listening not as a task, but as an investment in a richer, more connected life. Start small, be consistent, and trust the process. Let the sounds of English wash over you, day after day. With every podcast you play, every song you learn, every conversation you overhear, you are not just learning a language, you are building a bridge from isolation to community, from confusion to clarity, and from being a spectator on the sidelines to an active, confident participant in the global conversation. Press play and begin your journey.